a bullish example of the Asian range in action. Here we have a bullish bias, of course. We see the high of the range and the low of the range. The low of the range gets rated in London, followed by a breakup and then a retracement down. Look at the measurements here. We measure again from the high back down to the low, count standard deviations and pair them up with a higher time frame zone. So in this case, we have an order block, either one up candle into liquidity or 3 consecutive bullish candles. Up to 3 consecutive bullish candles will also be an order block. We could see if we drag that over, we have 1, 2, 3 overlapped. Selecting any of these, but this is less here in this example about setting a target and more about proving that the algorithm driving the market is in fact repricing to these levels. We see this one. Look how the bodies react nearly exactly to this level. On the 1 hour here, nearly exactly to this level. Or pushing down. Pushes price up, and look where it reverses. That is 1, 2, 3 standard deviations. The bodies respecting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 standard deviations. We see a wick to the exact number. Probably another wick up and then a break down. Of course, you couldn't predict this in hindsight, and this is not meant for me to show you, that I could call the top. It's impossible, of course, but it is meant to just prove to you that there is an algorithm that is calculating and pinging off of prices based on the Asian session range. So just like before, we can use these to set targets, potential take profit points if paired with a POI, right? So in this case, we have this POI, we have that entire bearish order block. We have this, we can measure 50%, so that'd be the consequent encroachment of the order block. And we can take profit at that number, right? Or we can just round it up to the nearest area where we can see resistance and take profit there. So what would a trade look like? We have 2 trades here. We have one, as soon as, go to the 15-minute. As soon as the low gets rated, you can place a stop or place a limit order below the low, cover the next swing, or even this candle here. Maybe this is all like one large FEG. If I go to the 30-minute, it might be a little more clear here. 1, 2. If you covered candle 2, well, you would have gotten stopped out, unfortunately. But I mean, you setting a limit with a 3-pip stop is never a good idea anyways. But on the 15-minute here, if we cover the low, you'd be protected, easily able to pull out 2.3% out of the market if you're risking 1%, which on a funded account is incredible. Alternatively, you target the liquid region right here, and you can even extend a bit, right? And then you'd have 4R out of the market. Or if you were on the 15-minute, you would see we have an SMB, right? So this is ISP, gets overtaken by an ISP. We look, see the failure here. Look, what caused this failure? Look, we see this ISP. As we pull back, because it's a type 1 ISP, it takes liquidity, we can put the stop just below there. And now that 2R becomes 6.7R, very, very safe. We can round that up to the nearest area where we expect resistance, which would be the middle point of that order block, or we can extend it up into the liquidity and even extend it a little bit up into this region. And you'd see we'd have a 10R trade here. Okay, so this is not meant to be an exact tool. It's not some sort of glitch in the market. Okay, you're not going to get exact numbers every time, but use it to stack confluences so you know when it's okay to push a little more Or to be conservative, for example, you wouldn't know, oh, where do I, where should I take profit, right? So you can, instead of looking at anywhere in between, you can start to round up a bit. You know what I mean? Round up a bit. Very conservative if you wanted to right here, but you can see if we look to the left, there's really nothing for us to catch on to. With our bullish buys, we expect that this is all weak structure. If you want to be conservative, you can at least target the midpoint, which you can see again, the body pings extremely accurately off of that middle point of the FEG, of the order block, sorry. And on the higher time frame, you can see that it respects this to the point, right? So just something to pay attention to, something that can help you with identifying targets, being cautious about how long you want to let a trade run.